Do you need a tissue so you're not slurring and everything?
We on live.
Well, still, I have to get you a tissue.
I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm fine. Woo! My wifey is such a funny woman.
Snorting like an F.
Woo! Lord have mercy. Okay, give me my little tissue.
Yep, there's your tissue.
Cold,
flu-like symptoms.
I'm having flu. I got allergies.
Okay, allergies.
Because if I had a cold, I'd be, having a cold symptoms. But allergies do happen to me occasionally.
So your throat is not sore?
No. Happy
MLK Day.
MLK Day. Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys.
Yes.
And I'm Dr. Willie Jolley, and this is my beautiful bride,
This is Dee.
Taylor Jolley. Every week it's a new. When she comes into from the makeup room here.
From the makeup room.
Here.
From the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the makeup room.
You don't know what color my hair is going to be?
I don't know what color it's going to be.
I think it's gray today. I think it's gray and a little black today.
Okay. I don't know.
I have on pink lipstick. You like pink
I
lipstick?
love that lipstick. She looks so beautiful. Matching my shirt.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, everybody, whoever is joining us. We want to thank you for being a part of our community. We want to thank you for sharing this program with others, and we want to thank you for your love that you send with the little hearts and everything that shares it with others and makes more people who might not know about us want to view it. So we encourage you to keep hashtagging Jolly Marriage, hashtag all of the things that you can think of to get more people who have need for a program like this to be able to be part of this, so we can try and encourage them as we share our tips. For those who don't know, where's the book? Oh, over there. Hold on. You go ahead and talk.
So you tell me I'm not ready and stay in the frame, and then you disappear. So tonight we're going to talk about marriage and money.
Yep, marriage and money. Last week we had
a review. This is part 2.
Part
one started last week, and we actually ran out of time.
Ran out of time, and what a response from people.
So the topic is going to be marriage and money, and you're going to do.
I've got something else first.
Okay.
So, for those who might be joining us first time or don't know, we are the Jolleys. We married now for 35 years. Coming up in June, we'll be married, and haven't had an argument in over 33 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. It's the second printing, and we recommend you get 2 copies, one for you and your significant other. You can get that at jollymarriage.com to get a signed copy, and Amazon if you just want to get a quick copy. And then we have an audio version, a seminar on CD, and a workbook. And all of that is digital as well on jollymarriage.com.
I was going to pull up my information.
So I want to start with a wonderful piece I found. It was from the Martin Luther King Research and Education Institute at Stanford University. This was from his archives of his documents of a wedding prayer and marriage ceremony that he wrote as a young minister in the late 1948, somewhere between January 1st, 1948 and December 1954. Wonderful. Here's what he wrote for the wedding prayer. O God, our gracious Heavenly Father, who art the originator of all life, whose presence brings happiness to every condition, whose favor sweetens every relation, we beseech thy blessings upon these thy servants as they embark upon the great sea of matrimony. Grant that the ship of their marriage will be well anchored and guided by the proper compass, so that they will be able to emerge successfully into the great harbor of peace, happiness, and oneness. Give them a deep awareness of the sacredness of this venture. In any age, when so many men and women would make marriage a mere perfunctory act with no divine and sacred value, when myriad Hollywood would arise to make of marriage a mere seasonable plaything, which must occur at least 4 or 5 times in a lifetime. In such an age, help them to realize that marriage is man's greatest prerogative. I love that line, that marriage is man's greatest prerogative. For it is in and through it that thou hast given man the privilege to aid thee in thy creative activity. Help them to see the primacy of love in this venture. Grant that they will realize that without it, a marriage can be dropped into the abyss of meaninglessness, where each person will experience the bleakness of nagging despair. But with it, the marriage can be lifted to the radiant level of life's most exciting venture. So today we embark upon the sacred sea of marital matrimony. Marriage is not a physical arrangement to be entered to at will and dissolved at whim. It is holy ground that must be entered reverently. Through its portals, men and women enter the realm of the immortality. Indeed, marriage is man's greatest prerogative. For it is in and through it that God has allowed us to aid him in his creative activity. Today you become the heirs of a legacy of togetherness. Together you will dream dreams. Together you will make plans. This part I really love. Together you will dream dreams. Together you will make plans. Together you will face moments of unutterable joy. Together you will face moments of inexpressible sorrow. Despair not when the inevitable moments of personality adjustments arise, for they may be the stepping stones to a higher level of self-completion.
Could you break it down and
I'm going to go back and
summary,
do it. Be not dismayed when the buoyancy of fulfillment is transformed into the fatigue of disappointment. For this is a part of the changing scenery of life. Like the ever-flowing water of the river, life has its moments of drought and its moments of flood. Like the ever-changing cycle of the seasons, life has the piercing chill of its winter and the soothing warmth of its summers. If you feel that the fountain of love is running dry in your marriage, seek desperately to fill it anew. For without love, marriage is like a parched and dried up desert, without the refreshing oasis of happiness. If you are tempted to stumble from the mountain of love, seek passionately to regain the high place again. For without truth, marriage is like a ship without a compass. Love, trust, loyalty, and mutual respect are the pillars upon which the temple of marriage must be built. If these elements are there, the storms may come, and the winds may blow, but they will not upset the temple of your marriage, for it is founded upon a solid rock.
Oh my goodness.
Is that good, or is that?
You have to decode that.
All right.
There's so much stuff to read and for us to understand.
Wow.
So why don't you just pull the bullet points out?
Bullet points. One, that he said it's the greatest prerogative, your greatest choice, that you can help in this process that God has given us in the creativity of life. Marriage, wow, it's your greatest prerogative. That is why I tell...
What's another word for prerogative?
You the teacher, you tell me.
You're the one who's providing the explanation, sweetheart. You tell me.
Well, prerogative, to me, is my greatest ability to make a perspective choice. It's a perspective choice. Prerogative. It's my prerogative. The way I look at this.
It's your choice to do that?
It's my choice. And marriage is a choice.
Okay.
Marriage is a choice. You choose to stay married. You choose to say, love is an emotion. We said that in the book. Mm-hmm. Love is an emotion. Marriage is a decision. So that's prerogative. A lot of people fall in love.
Choice.
Yeah, people fall in love all the time.
Let's go to the next
Hold on, let me finish it. Now that you done brought it up, told me to get in it, now I got to get in it.
I'm like, let's...
We said in the book, love is an emotion. We know that emotions change. You're happy sometimes, you're not happy. You're mad sometimes, you're not. Love is an emotion, and it changes. But marriage is a decision. I decided
So
to
it's a
marry her.
commitment.
Yes, it's a prerogative. It's the greater prerogative. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's good. He also says that in this venture, in an age where many people are looking at Hollywood, which is how we say, leave the drama with your mama, chapter 5. Leave the drama with your mama says, don't look at Hollywood on how to handle your marital problems for reality shows, because they do that because it's for ratings. That hollering and screaming.
I wouldn't even, well,
People-
Hollywood is one option, but to be on the outside looking in, it always appears to be greater on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, but he's saying that in this right here, he said, when Marriott Hollywood arise to make marriage a mere seasonable plaything. People get married
You
3,
get
4,
in and
5,
out.
6, 7 times,
Well, it's
8, 9,
still
10.
going on.
Elizabeth Taylor got married, what, 8 times? She said, when I get married, just know it's not for long. You know, so it's not that kind of. I told her when we got married. Okay, here's the deal. When we get married, you have a choice. That when you say I do, it's for life, and the only way out is you can die.
Well, that's a conversation that you have to have before you get married.
Now, when you have that conversation, folks, and you
And
make
now it's too late.
you make that
already
commitment,
married.
though, here's what happens: you work through the problems. They're going to be problems. So he said here that there will be times of great joy, and there'll be times of challenge. But you must, here together you'll face moments of unutterable joy. Together you'll face moments of inexpressible sorrow. Despair not when the inevitable moments of personality adjustments arise. That was another one. Despair not when people's perspectives and lives and personalities adjust as you get older. One thing I've learned about our marriage, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten, what do you call me? More conservative? Is that what you say? And I say she's gotten wilder. Look at the hair! Look at the hair! Look at the hair! Look at the glasses!
So we work at complimenting each other.
We do, but here's what I want to say then.
In terms of having patience and the appreciation of each other's differences.
Okay, but here's what, those changed over time. Okay, in other words, personality changes happen. So there was a time in my life when all I wanted to do was get up and go give a speech. All I wanted to do every day. But now I want to write books. I want to do radio. I want to speak, but I also want to do some other things because my life has changed. I want to spend more time. There was a time when I was on the road a lot, not with her. But I want to be with her. Now, we travel together, but we love our home. We love what we're building. So, times change. Perspectives change. So this is such a powerful piece.
But I think the fundamental, the essence of the person doesn't change. You're still kind, you're still thoughtful. The fact that you want to do other things in addition to speaking or adjusting the schedule doesn't change the fact that you're still the same basic personality. And I think that's something that's important to say.
Okay.
Because people fundamentally don't change. You know, some people say you become more of who you are, you know, over the years you become more set in your ways.
I won't disagree. Now he says, if you feel that the fountain of love is running dry in your marriage, seek desperately to fill it anew. When you feel like you've fallen off in your marriage, then you need to seek desperately right now. I got to get this right back because
So what does it mean to seek desperately? Does it mean counseling?
Counseling?
Does it mean talking to each other? You know, there's something here that
going on a vacation together.
Yeah.
Talking openly about your feelings, as well as how, if there's some issues that you have not resolved, resolve them.
And then how you talk about issues that are not resolved is how you talk to yourself.
And if you are tempted, he said tempted, to stumble from the mountain of love, seek passionately to reach the high places again. For without truth, marriage is like a ship without a compass. So it's love, trust, loyalty, mutual respect. The pillars upon the temple of marriage must be, which the temple of marriage must be built. Love, you gotta love each other. Then trust. One of the questions we got that we'll deal with probably next week is a lady asked, what do you do when trust has been broken? How do you regain it? How do you fix it? We have a question one question we're going to deal with next week was a husband said, my wife had a baby had an affair with a guy at her job, got pregnant by this guy, and now she is carrying this man's baby, and we're still married. How do I deal with this? Now, I can't tell you that on experience, because that didn't happen to me, but I can tell you some of the things we would recommend that they do. So we want to talk about that next week. All right, upcoming week. So, love, trust, loyalty, and mutual respect are the pillars upon the temple of marriage must be built. If these elements if these elements are there, the storms may come and the winds may blow, but they will not upset the temple of your marriage, for it is founded upon a solid rock. Wow. Solid rock of our faith, the solid rock of our love, our trust, our loyalty.
I think trust is an issue in many situations when there are challenges, people don't honestly communicate. I think there's a lack of trust.
Well, I wouldn't know. We don't have that. See, we are guessing. Have you ever not trusted me?
No.
Okay. Now, I've never not trusted you. So we can only guess that would be an issue, or how that is an issue, because we haven't dealt with a lack of trust. Because one, I made a commitment to her, and I've kept my commitment. Two, when I made her a promise, whatever it is, and gentlemen, I want you
always kept your promises.
I want to say this to my brethren. It's so critical that you keep your word. You say you're going to do something, do it. You move heaven and hell to do it, so be it. You've got to keep care of your word. My dad would tell me, your word is your bond. You got nothing else but your good name and your word, and your reputation for keeping your word. Whatever you do, keep that. And I have taken that to heart. So this home where we're in, we for those who don't know, and it's in the book. It's in the book, isn't it?
I don't.
Yeah. You lived in Mama's attic.
Yes, you lived in your mother's attic. Mm-hmm. And you said live with your mother in the attic for a year. I buy your house. You did. Let's go back.
But that's so important about trust.
Yeah.
I'm just getting back to trust and keep.
Well, you built it. I think the issue is, what I'm saying is.
And I'm trying to say to the brethren, keep your word. And I'm giving them an example.
Something that you built over time.
She said it, I told her, you live in my mama's attic, I'll buy your house in a year.
Yes, and you did.
1 year later, we moved into this house. Mm-hmm. Now, over the years, we've been here 30-some years. We've renovated, we've expanded it, we've built additions, we've built our office here. But it's become a beautiful place because I kept my word, and we have trust. Okay, so.
The tips about stop arguing about money.
Money, we talked about it last week.
Okay, so what did you cover?
We talked about, you got to talk about everything. But before I get there, I want to talk about this piece in here, this magazine that we have. It says one of the keys.
It's Psychology Today, so we read all these magazines.
Is get financially naked with each other. Ooh. Now, this husband and wife.
Financially naked, that's sexy for saying, tell the whole truth.
Both in their 30s began opening up about salaries, savings, and student loans just 9 months into dating. The topics came up naturally in the couples in their conversations, and some of the friends were going early. They were going to a pal's wedding, and some of the friends said, we're going to go early and get a beach house. So we had a conversation about whether we was in our budget, which spurred off the conversations. He had to dig into issues, but for her it was new terrain because she had never talked about money with anybody, her money. So we had a question last week from a lady who said her husband did not let her know about the money.
About his money.
About his money. And I went into this research so that I could talk about how he is missing an opportunity. He's missing some joy. Because this study shows that couples who are more open about the money, it says here, but one theme crosses generations. Couples who are in sync on saving and budgeting and know about the money and are not kept in the dark feel more secure, argue less, and have hotter sex. Did you hear that, man? Did you hear that? That couples
And
who
where
are
did that
open
research come from?
came from
The signs.
the signs of marriage. But couples, and it crosses generations, couples who are in sync on saving and budgeting and financial openness feel more financially secure. They argue less about money and are having hotter sex. In other words, financial synchronicity can help you achieve not only greater financial stability, but greater marital satisfaction. Woo-hoo! My brother, you missing out by keeping secrets from your wife.
So it develops a
Missing
feeling
out.
of security and comfort.
Missing out. Yeah. Stability and comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the marriage more hot and happy. And we want you to be happy. We want you to be jolly. So that was a big, get financially naked. Tell the truth. Experts would agree. Couples have less conflict about money when they share information, said Terry Orbuck, a Detroit family therapist and author of 5 Simple Steps to Take Your Marriage from Good to Great. 5 Simple Steps to Take Your Marriage from Good to Great. Mm-hmm. Knowing where you stand and what you want to accomplish builds trust and a sense of teamwork. Plus, getting on the same page gives you a better shot at hitting your goals.
And you can't get on the same page if you don't know where each person stands in terms of how they view money.
That's right.
And that's a great starting point.
Great.
To say, well, okay, it's not just, okay, this is how, here's my checking account, here's my savings account, here's my 401k. Sometimes people don't even know about a 401k or a Roth IRA. But to even start a conversation, how did you learn about money? How do you feel about money?
Yeah.
To have that kind of conversation, just to start to kind of loosen up, because you're having sex, what more commingling could there be? Money is not as intimate as having sex.
But people are more concerned about money than having sex because they don't understand that marriage is not just a love relationship, it's a business commingling. It's a merger.
It really is.
It's a merger of these
and
two.
You can build your assets faster together.
Right. If you're working together. What I have been telling Dee is that I mentioned last week how we had done the seminar and talked about the 5 levels of thinking. The indigent think day to day, the poor think month to month, the middle class think year to year, the rich think decade to decade, and the wealthy think generation to generation to generation. If you really want to create wealth and you are not letting your spouse know about your finances so that y'all can start to say, okay, where do we go from here? It's like driving down the street with your emergency brake on. You're not full in. You're not all in. You're not using all of your power because you have some insecurities about letting your spouse know. I'm encouraging you to be naked. Tell the truth. Here's where the money is.
Mm-hmm. And then you also have to then plan. So once you say, well, this is what I have. Okay, what do you have? Oh, that's what you have. Maybe there's some overlap. There's some things that are duplicated.
Right.
That we can get rid of. And then how do we continue to build this? Maybe there's also a need for a will, a trust. What if something happens to one person? Becomes ill or something and incapacitated. And you're not aware of where all the monies and all the key pieces are. You
Today,
you can't even suffer in
today. Many of y'all know I joined.
Suffer in peace. That's kind of a different. That's not what.
Many of you know I signed with Radio 1 and have now a daily motivational message on the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell morning show every morning, 8:20 Eastern Time, 7:20 Central Time. If you're in an area that the show airs, listen every morning. If you're not, you can go online to getuperica.com, getuperica.com, and you can listen in wherever you are in the country. I was listening to Radio 1 today, coming in from the gym. I spoke this morning for a youth leadership program as my way of making this a day on and not a day off. And it was tremendous response. We had a great time. Then after meeting, greeting young people, taking pictures and so forth, I came and what did I do today, this afternoon? What did I do? What did I do? Where did I go today?
Oh, you went.
Where did I go? Tell them.
You went to yoga.
I took yoga because I'm trying to get in her world. Now, she didn't go. She went this morning. I started taking yoga. I went to our yoga class. It was hot. I was in there doing the thing, all goofed up. But I did it because I'm trying to get in her world. We tell y'all, get in your spouse's world. Learn something they like. So I'm starting to take yoga. So I took yoga. Then on my way back, I had the radio on. I'm usually not in the car in the afternoons because we're working. I've got either speech. I'm going to say hello to everybody at Prince George's County County Council. I'll be speaking for you tomorrow, and the county executive tomorrow. Anyway, I'm usually speaking in the afternoons, but I was listening to Willie Moore Jr. On Radio 1 on the Praise Network. And they were doing a financial show, and the lady on was talking about the importance of telling your spouse about their money and having a will. And many people don't have a will, or they don't.
About 50%, a little more than 50% of people don't have wills.
They didn't have a will, and they don't discuss the finances with their family. Well, because they think they're going to be here forever. Let me tell you something, folks. Nobody's going to be here forever. Nobody gets out of life alive. Nobody get out of here alive. So you've got to take responsibility and say, one, I got to have life insurance. Got to have life insurance. Got to have life insurance. Particularly if people are dependent on your income and dependent on your money to have a house, to have a car, you got to have life insurance. Two, you got to have a will. If you don't get one, you're being irresponsible, and that's not real love. You got to love your family in life and in death. Take care of your family. So make sure, our time is up. Oh, wow.
I'll say one,
All right.
I'll say one quick thing.
Yeah.
It just in reference to being open about finances. Apple is now in conflict with the federal government because the federal government is saying that they have not been forthcoming in helping to open the iPhone
Yes.
of the person who attacked
Right.
the people at the Air Force Base. One thing, you need to have your passwords and everything available,
Somewhere for your spouse to know.
so that if all of your key information is in the phone, your passwords to the bank accounts, it needs to be in a secure place where your spouse can find out.
We have the bank password, and she always makes sure I know when she updates it. Now look, time is up. February 22nd, we're having our marriage seminar live here in Washington and simulcast stream. We're doing a stream, so you can register either way. You can do it from the comfort of your home. We'll be able to take your questions and answers. You can be here live in Washington, D.C. February 22nd, go to jollymarriage.com to get information on that. Go get the book. Get 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other. The lady this morning at the Prince George's County Youth Leadership was at the seminar we did for First Baptist last year, and she came up and said, we got your books. Aww. It has been such a blessing to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, we got to go. Our time is up. We thank you for yours.
Jolly out.
Jolly out. God bless you.